So Rell Seas just solved a massive problem. And I say massive problem by what the community was saying themselves, not what I personally think. Because if I'm being honest, I never really saw this as a problem, but regardless, they definitely made a big improvement. And along with this improvement, we also got some other news, and we'll talk about that after. So first, let me give you guys the context behind this whole problem. So if you missed the news from a few days ago, essentially Rell Seas confirmed that there's gonna be game modes outside of the main game. Obviously, the main mode would be the open world RPG version of Rell Seas, but there's also gonna be a ranked mode they confirmed, a crew battles mode they confirmed, and a battlegrounds mode they confirmed. Now if you guys want more details on all of that, I made a video on that a few days ago, so I'd recommend you go watch that. I also had some exclusive information in that one, but let me actually get to what people were saying is a problem. So in the message where they announced this, they said that crew battles is going to be like a conquest focused game mode focused on island capturing. For those that don't know what that means, essentially you have to stand in a circle to claim an island. It's one of the most common game modes. We see it in games like Type Soul, in the new Mashal game that just came out, and a lot of other games. But as it turns out, it seems like a lot of people have a serious hate for Conquest. Like, it was to the point where even my own uncle made an entire video trash talking Conquest and saying it's going to be a mistake. And if I'm being honest, there's a lot of validity behind this whole mindset. I mean, some games do make Conquest fun in my opinion, but a lot of games don't. And a lot of games, in my experience in Conquest, you end up just running around for a lot of the time instead of actually fighting. And then there's also a lot of times where it's you and your team sitting on a point, literally doing nothing, fighting no one. And now the reason I didn't see it as a problem before is I really wanted to see how Rell Seas personally did their Conquest. They also said it's somewhat like Conquest, so I really wasn't going to jump to any conclusions. But regardless, I think Rell Seas made an objectively good change here. Rellbad announced that crew battles will have multiple game modes to select from and play. Obviously, they already said Conquest, but they're also going to have Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, and Elimination. And if you somehow see this as a bad change, I'm not going to lie, you're just hating at that point, and I don't think anybody could please you. Because this essentially just opens up more variety for literally everyone. Like, some of you guys might not really know which game mode you like yet, but I'm sure once the game actually releases and we played a bit, you're gonna know if you like Elimination, where they capture the flag, or Capture the Flag more than King of the Hill, or Conquest the most even. And now, assuming you're actually fighting for rewards here, you could also be maybe better at some of them. So for example, if you and your crew are only good at Elimination and Capture the Flag, but bad at King of the Hill and Conquest, you can only play those game modes, or at least that's how it sounds like. If you were forced to play all of them at random, I would assume he wouldn't say game modes to select and play from. So I'm pretty sure you're actually going to be able to pick which ones you play. And let's say hypothetically you like all of the game modes and you're good at all of the game modes, you could literally just play everything, and it adds more variety and replayability to the game. So you're probably thinking something similar to what I just said. This is an objectively good change, right? But you and I are both wrong, because I can't wait for the Capture the Flag game mode to come out and all the haters come out and complain about the texture on the flag or something. Or God forbid that there's one singular bug in these game modes. But as I'm starting to realize more and more as the days go on, some people just simply can't be pleased. Now, Rellbad also said that crew HRs are going to be able to use in-game commands and private servers to set up battles and wars with other crews. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't know what the hell a HR is, but I'm assuming it's like a captain or something. But this essentially means that if you have beef with someone, you could really say pull up to the private server and have a crew battle. Or if you and your friends have two different crews, you guys could just have battles for fun. Now, what I'm personally hoping for is that they actually put a system in the game where you're able to bet on these battles. And if they did add this, not only would you be able to challenge your Rell Seas ops to a battle, you would also be able to steal their belly or their devil fruits or something else. And imagine how much more intense these battles would be if there was actually something on the line. And if you just wanted to have wars for fun and not actually bet anything, you wouldn't be forced to. So Mr. Rellson and Mr. Rellbad, could we get a betting system? But like I said, Rell Seas also dropped some more news. So as I'm sure most of you guys already know, gold and silver members are going to be getting early access to Rell Seas. But along with that, they're going to be getting custom mounts, and one of them was just revealed. I'm not sure if this is going to be the only mount, but this is a water mount and it is a whale mount. And also I want to mention, I've seen someone call this a laboon mount, and I'm not gonna lie, they might be a little acoustic because I don't know what they think laboon looks like. But water mounts are honestly kind of confusing to me in Rell Seas. I mean, they made it very clear that they always want ships to be the main transportation on water. So I don't really understand the point of water mounts unless they can maybe go underwater. And that would actually be really cool if you could use these to explore underwater. Obviously, they want that to be a big part of the game, so that would actually make a lot of sense. Because right now, I'm literally just thinking of water mounts as worse ships unless they can go underwater. But next, Rell Seas made a tweet saying, guess my location. And I think it's pretty obvious what we're looking at here. I mean, he literally has the jail uniform on. I'm 99% sure this is Impel Down. And if you're somehow still not sold that this is Impel Down, we got some images of Impel Down a long time ago and it looks very similar to this. And if that's somehow still not enough for you, Rell Seas also tweeted Hades Asylum, essentially saying the name for Impel Down and Rell Seas. And I mean, obviously they're trying to change it for copyright, so I guess Hades Asylum is what they came up with. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of weak, I'm gonna be real, but it actually makes a lot of sense. For those that don't know, the Impel Down prison is literally supposed to be hell. And even the layers are themed around this. Layer 6 is called Eternal Hell, Layer 5 is called Freezing Hell, and all of the layers have hell at the end of them. And for those that don't know, Hades is actually the Greek god of hell, so it makes a lot of sense like I said. Now Hades also has a three-headed dog that's supposed to stop people from leaving hell, so maybe we'll get something like that at Impel Down. I mean, regardless of what they do, there's one thing we can't take away from them, and that's that Impel Down is gonna be big as hell. Get it? Because it's supposed to be hell and it's big as hell? No laughers? But I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't even on purpose. But for real though, I'll put some of the images of Impel Down on the screen, and this place is huge. But if you guys are genuinely excited for Rell Seas, please hit that like and subscribe button so I stay in your algorithm and you stay updated. And not to mention, it helps the channel a lot, so I'd appreciate it. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Click this video right here. It's a good video. Later.